Hi, I'm Linda, and I'd like to share a story about my family's generosity and the unexpected hurdles we faced. Growing up wasn't always easy, but I was taught to always lend a helping hand. My family didn't have much, and there were times we struggled to make ends meet. I had two younger siblings, and because my parents were often tied up with work, I became the one to look after them. Living so close to the edge, I developed a strong desire to support others in need. I worked hard to build a life for myself, and being the first of my siblings to start working, I wanted to make things easier for my family. Every time I received a paycheck, I sent money home, which allowed my parents to cut back on their hours and spend more time with my siblings. As they grew older and started working, things began to improve for us. To keep sending money home, I picked up extra shifts and worked tirelessly. Everything paid off when I was promoted to manager, a role that came with both a raise and more benefits. Finally, I could relax and enjoy a more stable life. With some extra time, I decided to focus on my personal life and take dating more seriously. While I'd gone on a few dates and had my first kiss, I hadn't had any serious relationships due to my busy schedule. I joined some dating apps and eventually matched with Jake, a lawyer with a quirky sense of humor, just what I was looking for. We quickly started texting every day, and before long, we went on our first date. That date turned into many more, and Jake turned out to be everything I needed. He made me laugh when I was upset and always knew when I needed a hug. He was also passionate about his career and often shared stories of his work and accomplishments. I felt lucky to be dating such a wonderful man. After 2 years of dating, Jake proposed, and of course, I said yes. We married a year later in a beautiful ceremony surrounded by our loved ones. Since Jake and I lived on opposite sides of the country from our families, many relatives were meeting for the first time at our wedding. One of those relatives was Jake's younger sister, Stacy, who was 9 years younger than him. While most of the family welcomed me with open arms, Stacy was harder to connect with. I approached her while she was sitting alone at the dinner table. "Hey Stacy, why aren't you out there dancing with everyone?" I asked. "I'm just not feeling it. This whole event is kind of lame," she answered. "Is everything okay?" "Oh yeah, everything's fine. I just have better things to do than be at this party." "Well, is there something else you'd rather be doing?" "If it weren't for you marrying my perfect brother, I could be applying to universities and figuring out my own life." "Is this about Jake?" "Seriously, have you noticed how everyone just adores him? All his achievements, all the praise. It's like I don't even exist. I'm supposed to do everything on my own, just like Jake did." "I understand. It can be tough when someone else's success seems to overshadow your own path." "You really get it." "Yeah, to some extent. But listen, you deserve support too. I'm more than happy to help you find the best universities and figure things out." "Really? You do that for me?" "Of course. If you're open to it, we can spend more time together researching and planning." "Wow, I can't believe you'd offer to help me, especially with all the attention around Jake. You're your own person with your own dreams. I want to help you achieve them. No one should be left in the background." "Thank you, Linda. Honestly, no one's ever been this supportive. I really appreciate it." "Of course, I'll be here for you every step of the way, no matter what comes our way. Your dreams matter too." Seeing how sad and uncertain Stacy seemed reminded me of my younger siblings, and I wanted to be there for her. After Jake and I returned from our honeymoon, I kept my promise and helped Stacy research the best university options. Over time, we grew very close and became best friends. Since her university was only an hour away, we spent a lot of time together. As the years went by, Stacy met a boyfriend in college. After they graduated, they got engaged. Stacy came to our place the weekend after with some big news. She seemed nervous as she shared that she had something important to tell us. "Stacy, is everything okay? You seem really nervous," Jake asked. "Yeah, don't tell me you're pregnant now," I teased. "No, seriously, I'm not pregnant," she laughed. "Oh, thank goodness. You guys really thought that?" "Well, you did seem anxious, and when you said you had something important to tell us, we just assumed the worst," Jake said. "Always assuming the worst." Stacy laughed. "Anyway, I wanted to share some good news. I'm engaged to my boyfriend, and we're planning to elope." "That's wonderful," I exclaimed. "But are you sure about this decision?" "Why wouldn't I be?" Stacy replied. "You're only 21, Stacy. Marriage is a huge step. Are you really sure about rushing into it?" "What's wrong with being young?" Are you saying we're making a mistake? No, we're not saying that at all. We're just concerned, we care about you, and we want you to think this through. Life is long, and people change a lot in their 20s. We want you to be sure before making such a big decision. So you don't believe in us. You're not happy for me. That's not it. We just want to make sure you're making the best choice for yourself. You still have so much life ahead of you, and if your love is strong, waiting won't hurt it. You know what? If you can't be happy for me, then I'll find someone else to be our witnesses. We're not trying to upset you, Stacy. We just want you to be sure. Well, clearly you don't trust us to make our own decisions. I thought you'd be happy for me, but I guess I was wrong. Stacy, please don't leave like this, I said as she stormed out. We tried calling and texting her afterward, but she had blocked us. We were devastated by Stacy's reaction. We had always thought her behavior was just a phase, a result of being a teenager. But now, as an adult, it seemed like she was deliberately holding a grudge. We kept trying to reach out, hoping for some reconciliation, but nothing worked. A few months later, we found out from Jake's parents that Stacy had not only gotten married but was also pregnant. Jake was heartbroken that she was still holding a grudge against us, especially for something as small as offering care and advice. He was devastated that she hadn't told him he was going to be an uncle. I comforted Jake after hearing the news. You know, Stacy's still young. Maybe she was just looking for our support, and it hurt when she didn't get it, I said. I understand that, but it still hurts that she didn't share something this big with me because of some silly grudge, Jake replied, his voice strained. I know it's painful, but she's been through a lot too. Maybe she's just overwhelmed. It's not about her not telling me, it's that I feel left out of her life. I get that, darling. It's complicated, but she's going through a lot herself. I know you're going to be an uncle, and once the baby arrives, maybe things will shift. I really hope so. I just want things to get better between us. I know it's hard. We'll get through this together, and Stacy will come around when she's ready. A couple of months later, Jake's parents told us Stacy had given birth to a baby boy. Jake and I were so happy to hear the news. We couldn't believe we were finally going to be an aunt and uncle. Though we were hurt by the distance between us, we decided to wait a little while before reaching out, giving Stacy time to adjust. 2 weeks after the birth, Jake's mom called him, but he didn't pick up, so she called me. I answered, and I immediately heard crying. I recognized the voice immediately. It was Stacy. Linda, I don't know what to do. Everything's falling apart, she sobbed. Stacy, what happened? Are you okay? I asked, concerned. My husband left us. He abandoned me and the baby, she cried. Why would he do that? He was scared of becoming a father. He vanished just a week after I gave birth. I kept thinking he'd return, but he never did. Oh my God, Stacy, I can't even imagine how tough that must be for you. We had spent the night together, and when I woke up to feed the baby at 6:00 a.m., he was gone. That was strange because he usually slept in late. I waited all day for him to get in touch, but he never did. I reached out to everyone, but no one knew where he had gone. He ignored my calls and texts, and when I threatened to call the police, he told me he wanted nothing to do with us anymore. I'm really sorry you're dealing with this. Are you in a safe place? I'm at my mom's right now, but I can't stay here forever. I still have the apartment we rented, but I can't afford it on my own anymore. I don't know how I'm going to feed myself and the baby. Don't worry, I'll help you. We'll figure this out together. I don't deserve your help. I've treated you and Jake so badly, and yet you're still here for me. You're my sister, Stacy, family. I don't want you to go through this alone. We'll get through it. Everyone makes mistakes, and right now, you need support. I'm so sorry for how I treated you both. I shouldn't have acted that way. You're right, people can change. Acknowledging my mistakes is the first step to moving forward. Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. We'll take it one day at a time. You're not alone in this. I don't know what I'd do without you. We're family. We'll get through this together. So I started sending Stacy $2,000 each month. It wasn't easy, but Jake and I wanted to help her out. She was family, after all. This arrangement lasted a year, and during that time, Stacy went back to work, and the extra money made a big difference. But as time passed, her gratitude started to fade, and she began acting entitled. If I was even a little late sending the money, she would call and demand it immediately. Jake was frustrated about it. One evening, he said to me, I'm starting to think Stacy is going back to her old ways. What do you mean? It's like she's taking advantage of us again, using our help like she's entitled to it. I see your point, but we can't just turn our backs on her, especially with a baby involved. I know, but she needs to show some respect, just a little gratitude. I get it, but remember, I don't plan to keep supporting her forever. I'm just waiting for her to get back on her feet. Thank God. I was afraid this would never end. We've helped her, but she has to meet us halfway. Exactly. I'm glad you agree. Then something completely unexpected happened. One day, while driving home from work, my car was hit by a drunk driver. I lost consciousness by the time emergency services arrived. I was lucky to survive, but I had serious injuries. I was in a coma for a week, and when I woke up, I was too weak to do anything. I spent a whole month in the hospital, and when I was finally released, I had a broken collarbone and a leg. But at least I was alive. Jake was by my side the entire time, never leaving me. Even when I got home, I had to force him to sleep because he was so afraid of losing me again. I also had to push him to go back to work. My company gave me time off and allowed me to work from home when I felt well enough. But since I missed a month of work, I wasn't paid my full salary and couldn't send Stacy her usual monthly allowance. A week after I got home, Stacy called. "Where's my money?" she demanded. "What do you mean?" I asked, surprised. "You know exactly what I'm talking about, the payment you owe me. You're aware I was in a car accident, right? I was in a hospital for a month." "Yeah, I know. That's why I gave you an extra week after you got out to pay me." "Are you serious? How entitled are you? Do you have any idea what I've been through this past month? You don't know what suffering is. I have a baby to care for, and I can't just wait around while you slack off." "Stacy, I've been through hell. I couldn't send you the money even if I wanted to." "Excuses. You're just showing your true colors. Family is supposed to support each other, not make excuses and neglect responsibilities." I hung up. I couldn't believe she had the nerve to demand money from me. I wasn't obligated to help her, but I did it out of kindness. What angered me most was her complete lack of empathy after what I had been through. A few minutes later, she texted me, accusing me of never being part of the family and threatening to expose my true nature. She said I would regret this. When Jake got home, I told him everything. He was furious. He tried calling Stacy, but realized he'd been blocked. I was drained from the whole ordeal, so I told Jake to let it go. A couple of days later, I was awakened from a nap by a phone call from my boss. She informed me that the company had received multiple tips accusing me of financially abusing a family member and forcing them to stay at home, which was a violation of company policy. I assured her it wasn't true, but she needed proof, and until then, I was suspended from work. I was shocked. Who would spread such lies during an already difficult time? My phone rang again. This time it was Jake's mother, yelling at me for neglecting Stacy and treating her poorly. I couldn't get a word in, and she hung up as soon as she finished her rant. This continued all day, with family members contacting me, condemning my actions. I managed to get a hold of Stacy, who must have unblocked me. When I called her, she didn't pick up, so I texted her. I asked her if she had been spreading lies about me. She replied, admitting she'd warned me I would regret not paying her. I tried texting her back in anger, but when my messages didn't go through, I realized I'd been blocked again. When Jake got home, I showed him the texts and everything that had happened. "I've had enough of this. I'm going to make her pay for everything," Jake said, determined. I agree. Her lies have put everything at risk. My job, our reputation, everything. We can't let her get away with this. I'm tired of her manipulation. We've done nothing but help her, and this is how she repays us. What if we take legal action? A defamation lawsuit? Absolutely. She needs to face the consequences. Let's do it. We'll get through this together. We always do. Let's stand up for the truth. Weeks later, Stacy was summoned to court. She tried calling and texting us, but we blocked her. She even tried to approach us during the trial, but we avoided her. In the end, the judge ordered Stacy to pay $200,000 in damages. Stacy broke down in the courthouse, and while I felt a little bad, I knew this was the only way she would learn. Stacy continued to spread lies, but we sent everyone the case records and cleared our names. No one supported her, and many people distanced themselves from her. I also showed proof of my innocence to my company, and they reinstated me. Jake and I felt terrible for having to take legal action, but it was the only way for Stacy to learn. In the end, her actions isolated her. Jake and I continued our life, stronger and closer, with the lessons we learned guiding us forward. This whole ordeal taught us that even in the face of adversity, standing by the truth and choosing kindness can lead to a better future. Thank you for listening.